On to the Eagles.
Those darn Eagles, man. I mean, the rich get richer. I think a great offseason. Look, you knew they were going to lose talent in free agency. It was unavoidable. I want to say 9 defensive starters were pending free agents. If you just go by, total snaps played. I will say this. I like that they retained all the guys they did, but they did kind of pay the vibes and veteran leadership tax on arguably all of them. Look, I love Darius Slay. I love James Bradbury. $10 million for Fletcher Cox. You're paying for a guy who's been a Philadelphia Eagle for his career. Brandon Graham, fine deal. The value there is fine. He's still a stud. But anyway, the safety situation is interesting. They obviously trade up for Sidney Brown. You bring in the other Edmonds brother and Terrell Edmonds. They should still be fine. For a reigning Super Bowl loser to not really get much worse in any noticeable spot in free agency. And then, they knocked the draft out of the park. I think not even just their first 2 picks in the first round, but I mentioned Sidney Brown in the third at safety. I think is one of the better safeties in this class. Vanderbilt alumni Tyler Steen, I think maybe even competes to be the starting right guard with tackle flexibility down the road potentially. Another, Georgia guy in Keely Ringo, even Moro Ojomo, some more interior defensive line depth. I mean, Philly, they're a contender every year or most years for a reason.
Yeah, their free agency was largely about retaining players that were scheduled to hit free agency, and they brought back a lot more of those than I thought they were going to. So I think that makes it a win. And then, they had one of the best drafts out there. Nolan Smith being there at 30 is insane. Somehow stumbling into Jalen Carter by just sitting there and not really doing anything and just letting people let that happen to you. I have to jump up one spot, obviously, to snag him. That's crazy. I mean, we're talking about legitimately the best talent in the draft on the field. They get him at 9. They then get Nolan Smith later on. Keely Ringo in the 4th round, I think, is a steal. Another one of those players where fringe first rounder don't really get that, but 4th is absolutely worth that kind of roll of the dice. And Sidney Brown, as you say, one of the better drafts out there. In fact, we gave it an A+. We gave their free agency an A or a B+. Overall, the whole thing shook out to an A grade, one of the best off seasons of any team out there.